Coming up on the CHGO Cubs podcast, it is day 4,000 of the Zac Gallen. He finally has some finalists. Will he sign with the Cubs? He's going to sign with somewhere else. Come on, Zac Gallen, come to Chicago. And also on today's episode, Michael Busch, Major League Baseball. Hey, baseball, you insulted him a little bit. You insulted him a little bit. We're talking Michael Busch here. All that and more coming up on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs podcast on a Tuesday, so jump on in the chat and let's hang out. We're getting closer to spring training, so let's just say the mood is pretty high around here. What's up, everybody? I'm Joey Christopoulos. Justin Roman in the house for Tuesdays with Roman, and it also might be Monday, Wednesdays with Roman. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Breaking news, I'm going to be here a lot more than just the weekly things I've done in the past, but like,
congratulations.
That's for a different day, but you said spring training. I mean, like, it feels like spring training outside in Chicago right now. It is gorgeous out. I mean, I know we're like at like 50-something degrees, but the sun's out. For me, it just feels like 80. I mean, I have my sunglasses on, I have my sunroof open. I love that we're getting closer and closer to good weather, but more importantly, to Cubs baseball.
It feels awesome outside, and it's 39 degrees. I was having this conversation with my wife this morning. I'm not going to be a Midwest moron and throw on my jorts and throw a tank top on and just start running through the streets because it needs to get a little bit warmer. What's up, Sarah, on the ones and twos?
Go Cubs.
Oh.
I'm in a t-shirt.
Yeah,
it was hot out. It was kind of hot in my apartment.
You didn't bring a jacket, though?
No, I brought a jacket.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, t-shirt inside, of course. So like, live it up.
I wore this, and then I wore a jacket as I parked here in the West Loop, and I walked, and I'm like, I didn't need a jacket. Like, I was like, missed opportunity to not wear a jacket today because my car said 50 degrees like as I pulled up here, so it got warmer than when you obviously came.
It's just life is a funny thing. What's up, Vince President Chat? Good to have you with us, man. What's up, Becky? It's just like because I lived in Southern California for 15 years, and I promise you that if it went down to like 50 degrees, everyone would be freezing. Yeah. But now that I've only been back, I'll be 2 years coming this May back here in Chicago where I'm born and bred. Yeah. Now the 38 degrees, I'm like rock and roll. Like, are we going to the beach? Like, what are we doing?
It's the perfect example of life is all about perspective, because if we had 50 degrees in May, you're mad. Yes. 50 degrees in January, people are wearing shorts. I might grill tonight. I mean, like, for real, like that's kind of the difference of like perspective, and that's life, I guess, right?
So speaking of life, the life continues to turn for Zac Gallen. New reports this morning. A couple different people have been tweeting over the last 24 hours about where Zac Gallen's going to land. It looks like he has some finalists and talks are heating up, according to our guy this winter, Bob Nightingale. Sarah, if you have the tweet, Zac Gallen is now put his team. He's got some finalists here. Teams showing the most interest per Bob Nightingale are the San Diego Padres, the Baltimore Orioles, the Chicago Cubs, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, having said that, let's do our branded segment, Xfinity's Big Takeaway. That's right, it's Xfinity. This is the Big Takeaway presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. Shout out also to the Xfinity Loft just down the hallway here at the CHGO Studios. And shout out to the Xfinity Jurassic Park commercial during the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
That was cool.
I liked it. So, Justin, when you see those names on the list, Cubs are still in it, still on that list. What is your big takeaway from that tweet?
My big takeaway is that's the same guy that reported the Cubs signed him. Right?
That's true.
So, yeah, I mean, that was a weird thing where Bob Nightingale said the Cubs had signed Zac Gallen, and then Zac Gallen was like, well, no, I was at my wedding, or he was somewhere, and I couldn't have been. So that was weird, but there's been a lot of smoke in this situation with the Cubs and Zac Gallen. Here's where I'm at with, obviously, they're a finalist, right? We don't need him. That's the thing. Is like, if he signs with Baltimore, I'm not crying.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're obviously in on him and we want him in some capacity is very exciting. It really stacks the deck in our starting rotation if we do sign him. So again, it's not like do or die. I would love to sign Zac Gallen. There's many reasons why I think he could be a bounce back candidate. But if I find out at the end of this show he signed with Baltimore or the Padres, I'm not heartbroken by it because I love our starting five currently, but Zac Gallen does make that starting five even better.
Look, we've been doing shows all winter long about the pitchers that we would like possibly on the Cubs.
Yep.
And they haven't landed most of them. They got Edward Cabrera. They got that deal done, which was great, right? Yep. But, like, let's just go through the list, right? I think Dylan Cease was pretty high on both of our lists, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think when you talk about also, we're talking about Zac Gallen right now. We're talking about Framber Valdez. We're talking about the pitcher. All the guys ended up in the American League.
They did,
is what I'm getting at. So this is like, if Zac Gallen goes to the American League, I'm fine with it. Okay. Yeah, this is good news, right? Like, if you want to pitch for the Astros or whatever it is, the San Diego Padres one, it wouldn't make me upset. But again, that's something that I think that the Cubs simply just have to account for at some point this year. The Padres, it seems to make a lot of sense. Zac Gallen and his family has made their home in Arizona. He's been pretty vocal, especially with PHNX, our cousin company that does a great job. They've got some tape of him saying he'd love to stay in Arizona. It doesn't look like it's in the cards for him to be a Diamondback. So San Diego, Arizona, that's not that far of a trip.
And San Diego is a beautiful city.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's my second favorite city of all time, next to Chicago.
So I understand why Bob would put that San Diego Padres the first on the list. I just would prefer, of all these big name pitchers, if they're going to sign places, I would just prefer them out of the American League and out of the Cubs' hair.
Yeah, I mean, we've been linked to him for quite a while, and we don't need him. So I don't know what to make of it. At first, when I first heard about us being linked to Zac Gallen, I was just like, well, where is he going? I mean, obviously he's in the rotation, but who gets bumped? Who goes to the bullpen? Who doesn't make it? Like, there's a lot of what ifs if you sign Zac Gallen, you know? I think we're in a great spot where it's like, we don't need this guy, but if his price falls to where Jed's comfortable with and we can pounce on it, man, he really makes this rotation that much better. But for me, not do or die.
Well, the only thing about Zac Gallen, and the reason why I keep continuously being interested in it, is I know that you don't feel this way, but there are a lot of Cubs fans out there, and I think we need to continuously encourage them throughout the season. I think there are a lot of Cubs fans out there that feel like that the Dodgers are unbeatable, that are this Thor, like, you know, Thanos, like they have all the Infinity Stones. Why even play the season, Justin? You know, why even do that? So to those people, I think I wouldn't mind Zac Gallen, because all you want to do is just continuously add talent, overwhelm your roster and your team with talent. Now, if they don't sign Zac Gallen, do I still feel like we're in a good position? Yeah, absolutely. But me and you are both, I think, in lockstep that the Dodgers are definitely a beatable team.
1,000%.
So that's the only reason why I keep saying, you know, keep getting Gallen, right? Like, keep adding and adding. And I think it's going to come down the next hour or so. Like, how surprised would you be if it is the Cubs at the end of the day?
I would be more surprised if we did sign him than if we didn't. Again, because we don't need him. And I'm curious. There's a whole other episode. If we sign Zac Gallen, now what happens to the guy that gets bumped? Or is it a 6-man rotation? Or is it piggybacking? Like, there's a lot of what ifs if you sign Zac Gallen. Now, again, like we talked about yesterday, keeping Matt Shaw, it raises your floor, right? So signing Zac Gallen, your floor got raised heavily. Yeah. But a lot of what ifs. And going back to the Dodgers, I believe we split the season with the Dodgers last year, I think, or at least very close. And don't forget, the Dodgers were an inch away from losing the World Series. So they are beatable, right? I mean, I know that they're stacked, all those different things, but like, they are beatable. And over the course of 162, injuries happen, stars emerge, all these different things could happen. And a lot of experts kind of have us in the power rankings top 5. I mean, I've seen some that have us number 2, right? Behind the Dodgers. So yes, Zac Gallen definitely makes us better, but I think our starting 5 right now is pretty damn good.
We got Ron S. in the chat. What's up, Ron? I wanted Verlander, but he just went to the Tigers. That's right. 43-year-old Justin Verlander signs a 1-year, $13 million deal with the team where he started his career with the Detroit Tigers. $11 million of that deferred to 2030.
Crazy.
So I guess that's the other kind of leg, if you will, to this Gallen situation. Of it doesn't seem like any of these, in my opinion, it doesn't seem like any of these teams necessarily have the room to fit the money financially like a Zac Gallen onto their team, or at least get him to the price that makes him happy and is okay with the team. Right. So it feels like a lot of this is going to come down to what they're going to be willing to defer moving forward. And it would be incredibly fascinating if the Chicago Cubs, who have always blanched against deferrals.
Yeah.
Not only put deferrals in for Bregman, but also we're put deferrals in for another player.
Yeah.
So it will be incredibly interesting. I'm with you that I don't think Zac Gallen tips the scales one way or the other.
Right.
I think they're still NL Central favorites.
Yep.
I still think they can make a lot of noise, not only in the National League, but also at the trade deadline. Like the other part about this is I understand that losing out on Zac Gallen, you go, okay, well, we got what we got and let's roll. Hopefully Justin Steele stays healthy. There still is a world where the Cubs at the deadline could go out and possibly get a better pitcher than Zac Gallen and a guy who at that time is having a gigantic season.
Totally.
So, I mean, it provides a lot of options and flexibility. I just want to kind of give credit a little bit to Jed, though, that they're still pushing and looking to improve this team. I think that says a lot about what they want to accomplish this year.
And I got to take it one step further, give credit to Jed and to Ricketts, because he's not doing this if he doesn't have more money at his fingertips, right? So, like, obviously, the Cubs are all in. I mean, I think in the past you could make a case of they weren't all in and 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Fine. I think everybody can agree the Cubs are all in for 2026, and I love that. It's a good place to be from a fan standpoint. Jay Toffer has a comment there that I didn't fact check this, but we have Gallen's favorite catcher. Obviously, a great defense, but so I'm assuming he means that Carson Kelly is Gallen's favorite
Carson
catcher?
Kelly's a former Diamondback. They do have a relationship.
Cool, very cool,
and a great defense behind them. Yeah, look, I mean, it's nice when you're just throwing ground balls to that Cubs infield, right? Yeah. It feels pretty good.
And we added Bregman, another Gold Glover. I mean, our defense is 5 stars. I mean, it is top-notch defense. So, if you're Gallen and you throw ground balls, man, I mean, that is a nice defense to have behind you to help your numbers get better and better, because who knows what opt-outs are coming and all those different things. So it could be a really, really good fit for Gallen here, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and the other part that I just keep thinking about when it comes to Zac Gallen is, look, like, this is a business. He has a family, and he needs financial security that is going to help him support his family for years to come when we're no longer talking about Zac Gallen on podcasts. So I totally understand that. But I can't help but think, Justin, like, what do you think he's weighing value-wise? We're like, let's just pretend for a second that I'm bringing up arbitrary numbers. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just saying, let's say that the Padres are offering him $18 million a year.
Right.
And the Cubs are offering him $17 million a year.
Right.
But what the Cubs are telling Zac Gallen about, like, hey, I think we know how to fix you.
Right.
I think we know what to do with your fastball. I think we know how to kind of tamp down the home run bug, get your curveball back to the way it was 2 years ago. And Zac Gallen's looking at everything that they're saying. He's like, man, I really think these guys can get me back to a high level.
Yeah.
But it's less money. Do you what kind of decision do you make as a player saying, man, this situation over here could actually maybe get me back to the top of my game?
Yeah.
Well, maybe this situation over here is just strictly more money.
This is why I would never be a Scott Boras client, because I don't go to the highest bidder, right? There's other things that matter in that situation: family, fit, camaraderie, all those different things. So, like, and also, let me tell you, as a millionaire, not me, I'm saying as a baseball player, millionaire, if you're making 18 million or 17 million, you're going to be just fine either way you go.
You would think, but yeah, I get it.
I would look at it more like this. I would look at it more like, do I want to sign with the Padres and know for a fact that I'm not winning that division because the Dodgers are loaded and stacked? They also were trying to cut costs this offseason. There's a lot of uncertainty with that front office and the ownership group. Like, I don't really know what's going on in San Diego. Or do you want to come to Chicago, again, a world-class city, and phenomenal defense? They're obviously all in, already made a couple big splashes. And, I think that having that Gold Glove defense around you really could help his numbers. Again, I don't know what this contract's going to look like. Maybe there's an opt-out after year 1. Okay, fine. Have a phenomenal year with this phenomenal defense behind me. And also, by the way, probably dominate the NL Central. That's a better fit. And I know we're not offering, $2 million compared to $18 million. I'm sure we're going to be close. So all things being equal, I just feel like the Cubs are a better fit for Gallen. All that being said, if I find out he signs elsewhere, I will sleep totally fine tonight. If I find out he signs with us, I'll be thrilled, and we'll have some cocktails.
Yeah, and I think you're bringing up an underrated point that again, as fans, we don't think about a lot, where the stability of ownership does mean something to a player, right? Where if you're saying, I'm going to sign up for this for whatever the number is, 2-3 years, and the San Diego Padres all of a sudden turn into an ownership group that is either sold off or has to begin divesting options, and all of a sudden, well, hold on a second, I'm on the trade block. Like, wait, hold on a second. Where obviously the Cubs are a franchise that are incredibly stable. There's this thing called Southwest Airlines that takes, I think, trips from Chicago to Arizona all the time, so you could rack up the miles pretty easily.
United as well, man. It's a United hub. We got nonstops.
So I think at the end of the day, let's just leave it at this: that I think Zac Gallen wants to be in a Major League Baseball uniform. Like post haste, maybe even like during this show.
I mean,
so the decision is coming.
Yes.
I would not be upset if it's the Cubs. I hope it would be in the National League if it's not.
No, the American League.
Excuse me. Yeah, you're correct. In the American League. And then we'll just go from there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it broke during our show. We have, 45 minutes left? It'd be kind of cool. Sarah, you're watching it, right? Sarah, you're on it? Okay.
Yeah, we'll refresh. Speaking of that, I'm going to refresh my phone while we take a break to hear from some of our wonderful partners. You're watching the CHGO Cubs podcast, and that's right, Barb. Sarah is producing today. So everyone get in the chat. Let's have a great time. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Hey, Cubs fans, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And right now, new customers can get up to $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. And look, with spring training right around the corner, maybe you want to dip your toe a little bit into some Cubs action in spring training. But also the Blackhawks, the Bulls, they're in full swing right now. So enjoy your Chicago sports and do it with Bet365. Right now, you can also double your winnings on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. So download that app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. Remember, deposit $10, place a bet for $5. You can get up to $200 in bonus bets if that bet wins or loses, and you can use it on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app. Use that code CHGO365 when you sign up. You must be 21 and over. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Remember, with Bet365, it's in-app only. All right. We're getting out of this little mess we call the winter, right? And I know maybe you can't just dip over to the Bahamas right now because you got work and responsibilities, but your next weekend escape can be just north of you at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. It has everything you need in one spot. We're talking thousands of the latest slots and table games, and if you are ready to refuel, they've got tons of amazing restaurants and bars to choose from. And if you're feeling fancy and you want a quick bite, they've also got you covered. And if you don't want to leave the property, they also got you covered because you can stay in style at their luxury hotel. There's just steps away from what many call the Midwest's best sports book. And if you're heading to maybe Brewers, Cubs this summer, Potawatomi Casino is the place to be. You can hit the sports book and then head straight out to the game. It's all right there, and it's super convenient. Milwaukee's got a full winter lineup, too, of concerts, festivals, sports, you name it. So give yourself a mini vacay at Potawatomi. It's the perfect home base for all of it. It's Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting right now, so go check it out today. Coming back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman, Sarah on the ones and twos. Got a lot of great regulars in the chat today. And for all those diehards and regulars and sickos out there, we got a little something coming for you. That's right, CHGO Road Trip. Spring training, baby, in Arizona, presented by Shady Rays. I got to get my order, and I'm getting some multiple shades here because it's going to be sunny, wonderful, and beautiful. It's March 5th through the 8th. So here's the deal. We're making it super easy for you. So if you're already going out there and you're making your own plans, that's great. You can still come hang out with us if you want to. It doesn't have to be all inclusive. We got some great a la carte options, as in we're going to be going to Phoenix Suns, Chicago Bulls that Thursday night, March 5th. On Friday, a fantastic golf outing with Lance Briggs, Greg Braggs, a lot of the CHGO Bears team, us, the CHGO Cubs team. That night, we're going to have a happy hour, great Q&A. And then Saturday, Cubs baseball, baby, the way Santo intended. Also going to the game on Sunday as well. So make sure you get your tickets now. Come hang out with us. We can't wait to high-five everybody and have a great time. Justin, road trip, man.
I love spring training. I haven't been since a long time, man. I haven't been since me and my family went every single year when we were kids. And then once I was like high school baseball, our opening week was during spring training, and we couldn't miss high school opening week, right? So I haven't been in a long time. I haven't been since Hohokam Park. So I'm so excited. I heard Sloan Park is amazing. Obviously, the weather is awesome in Arizona. I mean, just our Thursday alone, we're talking off segment here, that our flight's like at 7 a.m. on Thursday.
Yes.
We're going to catch that Cubs game. Sun in the face, getting nice and crisp on a Thursday at Sloan Park. And then there's a Bulls game that night. And I think there's an event that's going to be a full action pack just Thursday.
Yeah.
We have, me and you and Luke, we have 3 Cubs games down there. You throw in the golf thing, a bunch of different, dinners and meet and greets. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I do hope a lot of you guys can come down there. Again, it's a la carte. That's the best part. You don't have to sign up for everything. You go to Arizona and do what you want to do with us. But I can't wait. My first time in a long time, and I'm excited, man.
Yeah, and look, I don't want to speak for Luke, but I'm going to anyways. I mean, he says, come on down. You can stay in his hotel room. You can use Luke's toothbrush.
So nice of him.
It's all inclusive. Yeah. It's an all-inclusive.
You may not want
trip.
to, by the way, because there's some there's some sicknesses going around, and that poor family has had so much of it in the past 3 months. So you may want to bring your own toothbrush, but he's still a fun guy to hang out with for sure.
No, he's wear his sandals in the shower, whatever you want. It's all good.
You think he wears sandals in the shower? Is he the kind of guy that does that?
I don't know. I would hope not.
At a hotel, I do. Yes.
You do?
Oh okay. God, yeah. I don't trust those people cleaning.
I've never worn sandals in the shower.
I'm only weird on hotels or Airbnbs or whatever. Okay. I get a little weird about that.
All right.
And Barb in the chat saying lots of beer and music on the bus. I love the fact that she thinks that we're all just going to be on some cool magic school bus that's just going to roll into town, and the horn is just going to sound like a CHGO.
But Joey, actually, Barb has a good point here. They need to bring their gloves and play catch. I'm bringing my glove down to Arizona. You better bring yours too, because
that's a great idea.
I need someone to play catch with. I mean, you guys see on every show I'm a baseball freak. I want to play catch down there for sure. So
yeah, to further entice, what's fun about Sloan Park is they have this huge open area that kind of doubles as a parking lot where a ton of people come and just hang out and tailgate, and there's music playing and you can play catch and there's all sorts of stuff. A lot of activities to do around the ballpark, and of course inside the ballpark, the activity of Cubs winning baseball. That's what we like to see.
Yes.
Okay, Justin, let's get to the headliner today.
All right.
So I'll be honest, full disclosure, I went to bed last night thinking in my head how excited I was about Michael Busch.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe we should talk about that on the show tomorrow. And then I wake up in the morning and lo and behold, the top 10 lists of Shredder and Major League Baseball, they come out with Michael Busch.
Yeah.
And let's just say Michael Busch isn't as highly regarded as maybe he is here in Chicago. So let's talk it out for right now. Sarah, do you have the first one, the top 10 list of the screen grab? Yeah, there we go. The top 10 Shredder first baseman list. Yeah, you got to keep scrolling a little bit down there, Justin, to get all the way down to Michael Busch at number 9. Obviously, a lot of household names on there. Some all-stars. This is across all Major League Baseball. But let's just start here. How do you feel about where Michael Busch is, at least on that list across Major League Baseball?
Well, I saw a couple of the experts talking about this list, and I forget the guy's name, but the lead over there said that he had made his list, and then he forgot about Michael Busch, and he had actually bumped somebody off to put Michael Busch on that list.
Kangaroo court.
Just initially I look at something like that, and I look at Rafael Devers, right? Great hitter, but I feel like he's a butcher in the field. Michael Busch for me has turned himself into a really good hitter. Also his defense has been pretty elite. I think when it's all said and done, he quite possibly could win a Gold Glove. And I still don't think he's peaked from a standpoint of offensively either. Don't forget, Counsell was playing the matchups up until now, and he says now he's not going to. You're going to let the guy hit, take every at bat, because what's the best way to get better against left-handed pitching? You face left-handers. So why not let Michael Busch do that? Because I still think Michael Busch up there, even against a lefty, is better than our next best option. So I expect Michael Busch to have an even better season this year. I think you saw last year, the power is raw, the power is real. And I think from a complete player standpoint, he is higher than 9. He should be higher than 9. I don't think he should be back-to-back with Wilson Contreras, that's for sure. But it is what it is. I think maybe because the platoon situation may have held him back a little bit. Give him a full season, and I think then going into next year, you'll see Michael Busch is much higher on that list than he was this year.
Yeah, the only part that I'm kind of tugging and pulling with that list specifically is that, look, Nick Kurtz on the Sacramento A's last year had a great season.
Yep.
He's 22 years old. I believe he's got a bright future and career ahead of him.
He hit 4 home runs in a game, right? That was
he hit the 4 home runs in a game. The only part about that list is they seem more inclined to shoot him up the charts to number 2 and put him in a pretty lofty spot.
Yeah.
Where it does feel like Michael Busch continuously has to earn it in that same way.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Busch is a little bit older. He's still 28 years old. He's about to literally enter his prime. And what we've seen with Michael Busch is, I think that first season, I think people were cautiously optimistic and cautiously skeptical about who Michael Busch was as a player and as a hitter. And he kind of went through some ups and downs, some peaks and valleys, finished out the year. The best part about the first season with Michael Busch for me was that he just didn't, he was able to bounce back when things got tough. He would go through slumps, but he would always work his way out of them.
Yep.
Now, heading into last year, I think more was expected of him, and he delivered upon that promise.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I think he delivered. He had a great first half. The batting average in the second half went down a little bit, but still the power was there. And then he showed up in October. I still think that his trajectory is pointing upwards.
Totally.
So if he's at 9 on that list now, I get it that there's some household names, but I still think Michael Busch has a lot more to prove and apparently has more to show Major League Baseball at large, and I think he's going to earn that respect this year.
Again, I still think a lot of it has to do with the way Counsell used him. He really kind of used him as a heavy platoon partner, and he's admitted like, hey, he has earned now everyday at bats. So the guys in that list, for the most part, everyday players. I mean, those guys are taking every at bat that they can. Michael Busch, my only thing about Michael Busch I don't want to see this year is him batting leadoff. I don't want Michael Busch in a leadoff spot. He's got power. He's a great hitter. I want him doing damage in like the 3, 4, 5 spot. Well, obviously I'm not getting paid to make the lineup, but if it was me, he is not your leadoff hitter anymore. I'm a big Nico Horner fan in leadoff, but I want Michael Busch in the 3, 4, 5 somewhere, smashing baseballs in the basket. Yeah,
he provided some power, and I think it was obscured a little bit by the concept that Michael Busch had a lot of leadoff home runs. So you thought that he was getting it done from the leadoff position. But no, you're right. I mean, he batted only .240 from the leadoff position. His by far the other one that he got the most run in, he hit cleanup last year and in 41 games had an .843 OPS. Okay. So clearly he has experience. He has success from that spot in the lineup. So I think that might be a place you can place him in. If you're asking yourself, maybe it's, I know we've been doing this a lot, right? But we're going to keep doing it because it's fun. The lineup is super fun. But if it's like Nico, Seiya, Bregman, Busch.
Love it.
It's a great start.
PCA. I mean, I'm a big fan of.
Go there.
I know it's dorky, but I kind of like the lefty righty situations. So what would that be? That would be like, for me, that would be Nico.
You would split them up a little bit, right? So you would probably that would maybe bump Busch into the 3 hole, Bregman into the cleanup spot, and PCA into the 5 hole.
But then where's Suzuki for you?
2, hitting 2.
Then you're still going righty.
Yeah, and again, I think we can have a great debate on maybe Bregman's more of a 2 hitter, and Seiya was driving in runs from the 4 hole last year too.
And we've talked about Bregman kind of being the most professional at bat you have. So maybe maybe Nico, but still, maybe those 2 guys top your lineup, going Nico and Bregman, and then you can alternate the power and you put Busch 3. Suzuki 4, maybe PCA 5. There's a different day we'll talk about lineup construction, but I'm saying that Michael Busch, I think, is primed to have an even bigger year. Don't forget, this is a former top prospect for the Dodgers, and he's still fine. He's maybe old for a prospect, but ultimately he's only had one maybe 2 years of starting for a team, right? He was blocked in LA for a long time. So I don't hold the age against him. Now you're getting to see what he can do with everyday at bats. And I'm hoping that this year with even more at bats, because no more platoon, he's going to really kind of ascend even more.
Yeah, and maybe to put a button on this top 10 conversation, Michael Cerami, friend of the show, also has a children's book out right now, and make sure you check that out, posted a tweet this morning that said, in regards to Michael Busch being ranked 9th in Major League Baseball at the first base position, across Major League Baseball last year, here are some of the rankings for Michael Busch. A 3.6 F-WAR, which ranks 4th among first basemen. 34 home runs last year, ranked 2nd. 144 WRC plus, ranked 2nd. We measure that stat a lot here on this show. 87 RBIs, tied for 5th. 11.1 barrels per plate appearance, 2nd among first basemen, and a 92.2 miles per hour exit velocity average, 6th among first basemen.
I think I saw that same tweet. I think he ended it by saying he was the 9th best hitter in all of baseball last year.
Yeah, so it's
what are we doing,
guys?
With great defense? What are we doing here?
It's like, okay, sure he is. Yeah, great. Yadier Diaz. All right. I see you. But here in Chicago, we raise you a Michael Busch, and we still think Michael Busch's best days are ahead. Speaking of that, let's take a break here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. On the other side of the break, yeah, Evanston, Skokie area. All right, QB your thirst. I love where you're at there. On the other side of the break, we are going to break down where does Michael Busch rank in the NL Central. We are ranking all of the first basemen in the NL Central. Where does Michael Busch fall on that list? Let's find out in 2 minutes. But first, some words from our wonderful partners here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Hey, Cubs fans, I don't need to tell you. Winter is here. It's been here for a while, and it might not be going away for another month until at least baseball starts. But you got to ask yourself the question, has your home's heating this winter? Has it been up for the challenge? And if you have a plumbing emergency, what do? You call Four Seasons, right? If you have an electrical emergency, you call Four Seasons. And if you need a new hot water tank installed today, you call Four Seasons. So now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. Thinking about a whole home generator, they got you covered because at Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Right now, you can save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Furnaces that start at $39 a month and furnace AC combos at $57 a month. So call today and save up to $50 with their trusted local experts. It's Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and sewer, and electric. They've been serving the Chicagoland community for over 50 years. Go to fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. Also, right now, new vehicles. They are in store at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And this is your chance to score a great deal at the Ray Resolution Sales Event. So head to Ray CDJR in Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. Right now, you can get 0% financing for 72 months plus no payments until spring on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and that's right, Ram models. Plus, overshop with their 125 vehicles that are priced under $20,000. They got a friendly team of brand experts, and the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, they prioritize affordability, so you won't overpay for the vehicle that you need. And they also have Ray's Price Promise, so you can shop confidently with no add-ons or hidden fees ever. So go check out your partner or your local Ray CDJR today to shop one of Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle for you and drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the only one we recommend. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today or on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. Coming back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, Joey Chrysopoulos, Justin Roman, Sarah on the ones and twos. We got 30 minutes uninterrupted coming for you. Yes. So let's jump into the chat a little bit here. Just want to shout out OB Your Thirst. He's been in the chat before, but just a kid from Evanston, Skokie area. So am I. Cubs fan because of family. Now I live in California. So did I.
Wow.
Is it worth signing up to the Sicko subscription, even if I don't like it in that great city of Chicago? Absolutely. Here's the thing. Here's what's great about it for out-of-state people, because guess what? I'm not, what is it? I'm not also a customer. I'm also a client or whatever it is. Like,
I'm also,
I was a diehard subscription member living in California.
Is this you, by the way?
This is literally me. So here's what's great about it, right? Is we have, obviously, if you go to allchgo.com, we have a website with exclusive written content, and I can promise you all of our guys on the beat have connections with the team. So when you're getting information, you're getting inside info that you're not going to read on Twitter or anyone else or someone else trying to make up stuff, whether it's Adam Johns, whether it's Adam Hogue, whether it's Will Gottlieb with the Bulls, Mario Terabasi and Jay Zawowski with the Blackhawks. Whatever it is, Jared Willis, who's on our baseball beat, Patrick Norton on our baseball beat, you get exclusive written content to that. Also, you get a bunch of discounts on all of our merch, all of our T-shirts, so you can wear a bunch of Cubs gear with CHGO on it, wear it with pride. And then, we're going to Arizona in 3 weeks, so you could always join us out there too as well. So
that's a hop skipping away from
the offer is
California.
By far worth it.
You get discounts on events as well. So even, we do events all over the world.
This is true.
And so
all over the world is true.
You can you get it like an exclusive discount code per diehard membership or whatever,
awesome.
And then you get a code for that. Yeah,
so something to consider. OB Your Thirst from the Evanston area. I'm currently living off of Main Street. And then let's just go up. I think it was Jay Toffer too as well. Just spoke with counsel and we agreed. 1 Nico, 2 Bregman, 3 Busch, 4 Suzuki, 5 PCA, 6 Hap, 7 Ballesteros, 8 Kelly, 9 or 8 Kelly Amaya, and 9 Swanson. Sign me up, Justin.
Yeah, pretty good. I think for me, as I'm looking at that, I do love lefty righty. Maybe you bring Swanson up a little bit to split up the Hap and PCA but then again, it's awesome. I mean, if Council had that lineup, I would be thrilled for sure. Yes.
Yeah, the only thing about that lineup when you kind of see it all in order like that, you just have to ask yourself the question: if Nico Hoerner is not the leadoff man, honestly, who is? You know what I mean? Like
he's got Busch in the
not
past.
Many people there fit that bill.
Yeah.
I mean, we can run the Ian Happ thing back if you want to. And I had tossed out there not too long ago that I could see Bregman hit leadoff on some days. He puts together a really good at bat. Dude gets on base. He's a pro.
I don't see him being a leadoff hitter. Has he ever hit leadoff before?
I know he's hit 2 before.
Yeah, I feel like 2 is his spot. I have a question for you. Do you think there's a world this year, next year, whatever, where PCA becomes leadoff hitter?
So they tried it a couple of times last year, right? Especially in New York, and he hit a bomb.
Yeah.
Frankly, when things were going really good.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it. It's just what we ask from people in the leadoff spot, and this is maybe a philosophical discussion that we can have. Just when I think about the leadoff spot, I think about a guy that first and foremost gets on base. Right? You want that. But B, I want a guy to always work the count a little bit. I want the guys behind him to see some pitches.
Right.
And I want the pitcher to at least throw his secondary stuff if he isn't even going to flash that third pitch in the first at-bat, if possible.
Right.
The other part about it is you do like to have a guy with a little bit of speed. PCA checks that box. Right now, when we talk about him being this untamed horse,
yeah, he's crazy.
I just want PCA to run free.
Yeah,
and I feel like that the leadoff spot sometimes can get in your head a little bit of, I got to be this way or I got to do this. That's why, I mean, I like your thing of Nico at the top because Nico is such a pro and some of his skill set already lends itself to what's being asked from the leadoff spot, even if he isn't drawing a lot of walks.
Everything you mentioned about what you want in a leadoff hitter, you describe Nico Hoerner.
Right.
You to a T, you describe Nico Hoerner and also speed, right? So I just think with this team and this personnel, for me, I just put Nico as your leadoff hitter, put Bregman at 2, and fine, tinker all you want. But like, I think this is the kind of team, you know, because like back like the 84 Cubs, right? Not to go too far back, but like they had a lineup. It was a set lineup. You knew it was Dernier. You knew it was Sandberg. You knew it was Matthews. I mean, I feel like this kind of team, you could really do that at least 1 through 5. It could really be Nico, Bregman, Busch, Suzuki, PCA. That's my top 5. The rest, tinker, fine. But like, it could really be a set it and forget it kind of situation.
Right. And even in 2016, when you knew that every single day Dexter Fowler was going to be at the top of the lineup, you can move around different pieces. And then my final part on that is just when we talk about the bottom of the lineup, I'm a big believer of if the bottom of the lineup can roll it back over to the top.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of whether it is Nico Hoerner or whether it's Alex Bregman, someone that's contact-oriented, at least at the top there.
Yeah.
When Matt Shaw gets a base hit with that speed, with the way that he runs the bases, now you're kind of like really cooking. And next thing you know, when you're like, oh, well, coming up in the bottom of the inning is the bottom of our lineup. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, man, it's 1 out and there's runners on second and third. And here comes Busch. Here comes Suzuki. Here comes PCA. Because those two little components from the 9-1 kind of rolled it over really quickly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be fun to talk about and think. But, yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, like Nico feels like the guy.
Do you remember 2 years ago where it was like the bottom of our order just caught fire? I think it was Amaya. It was Swanson. Maybe it was PCA back then. But, like, that was a perfect example of, like, the bottom of our order carried us. I think it was 2 seasons ago. And so my point is that in that mock lineup that we showed, Dansby Swanson and his 25 home runs is your number 9 hitter. Life is good.
Yes.
Life is good.
Yeah, no, and a lot of options. And then, of course, then you're kind of just trying to hunt matchup in the middle there with Happ and Ballesteros and who gives you the best opportunity to maybe hit the ball hard on a given day. Speaking of hitting the ball hard, we're continuing our Michael Busch conversation here on CHGO Cubs. So let's do it. We did it yesterday with the catchers. Let's rank the first baseman in the NL Central. Where does Michael Busch stack up against some of the other first basemen in the NL Central? We're going to go from 6 to 1. We're going to go last on the list. And the first one, of course, just continuing the bit from yesterday, Cardinals don't care.
Who cares?
Don't care.
Who do they have? It doesn't matter. They're in 6th.
What's his name? Who is it? Is Stuckey okay? Who is it? Well, look, it is Alec Burleson, and he is very talented, and we'll place him at some point. But let's be honest, like the Cardinals are punting on this season.
Yeah.
We will have several rants probably about how the Cubs need to win every single game against the Cardinals this year, but for the sake of this ranking right now, the Cardinals 6th at the bottom like they should be in every category all season long. And that makes me feel good. Number 5, it's going to be a little bit of a split skis, but the guy that was the starter for the Reds last year, Spencer Steer, a guy who had a really impressive 2024, a guy who did not have a very impressive 2025 offensively, but Spencer Steer, pretty good on the defensive side. A guy that they're looking at perhaps as a bounce back, but certainly not like a sure thing. I have him at number 5 on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I think from a fantasy baseball standpoint, I feel like he plays everywhere, so he's eligible like all these different positions, you know. But yeah, I mean, at first base, and also I would never bet against the fact that the Great American Ballpark is pretty hitter friendly. So offensively, he can really match there.
Right, and you'll see there's 6 on here because I have 2 Reds on there because I think they'll be both splitting time. Right. Number 4, I got Andrew Vaughn. Now, this is a guy who's almost a flip of Spencer Steer, right? In 2024, absolutely awful. First part of 2025 with the White Sox. I don't know what's worse than awful, but Andrew Vaughn managed to do it. And then somehow bounced back with the Milwaukee Brewers to hit 309 over the last couple months. Yeah. He's taken show to yard in the NLDS. Yep. And look, I have him at number 4 because I think that he has been able to turn his career around in Milwaukee. I just sort of have my doubts, Justin, that he's going to hit 309 again and be that menace that he was all season long for the Milwaukee Brewers.
There's 2 ways of thinking about Andrew Vaughn. One is, he has sucked for a year and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
And is he that guy? Or are we putting all the stock in the fact that he was great and they found magic in the second half with him? But I can't put all my money on that either, right? So I don't think I even know. I'm trying to ignore that. I don't even think I even know who Andrew Vaughn is, right? Because he's been so bad and then he was so good, but small sample when he was good. So, yeah, 4 is fine because I wouldn't be surprised if he was had a good year. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to sucking. I just don't know what he's going to be next year.
And obey your thirst. You got a subscriber. Way to go, man. I promise you, you are not going to regret it. And if you ever come to the city of Chicago, I hope to shake your hand and give you a high five or watch some Cubs baseball with you. Or if I go out to California, let's do the same. Doesn't matter to me. Moving on with our NL first baseman rankings list at number 3. Now, to be honest, like if we were doing this for real, I think Alec Burleson definitely slots into probably the number 3 hole here for me.
Okay.
He's a Burleson, just like his last name, big guy, power guy, probably the only dude that's going to scare you in the Cardinals lineup this year. I am going to go Ryan O'Hearn on the Pittsburgh Pirates, newly acquired on the Pittsburgh Pirates, a guy, left-hander, a guy that the Baltimore Orioles felt really good about for several years, got traded to San Diego last year, didn't really play up to his potential in Baltimore. But this guy's going to get a full run at first base, something that I don't think has really ever truly been afforded to him in his major league career. Yeah. And honestly, his splits are pretty good. He's going to hit you 270, 275. He's going to pop you about 20 bombs. It's something that the Pirates haven't had at that position in a long time. I gave him the edge slightly over Andrew Vaughn just because I think he's offensively just a little bit more talented.
Yeah, I don't fear any Pirate except Paul Skeens, to be honest with you guys. Because also he could be a great hitter, but if the lineup is bleak, you could pitch around him and just different things. So there is not a Pirate in this world short of Paul Skeens that scares me. But yeah, sure, 3, sure.
Yeah, and then at number 2, newly acquired Eugenio Suarez with the Cincinnati Reds. Now, look, typically a third baseman, I think they are going to try and fit him in at first base, including DH. So, I mean, if you just look at this list, as we're sort of steering towards Michael Busch being the number 1, I got Eugenio Suarez at number 2 because the guy's a 25 bomb machine. He hit 49 last year.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone on that list provides that kind of power profile. Spencer Steer, I think, is a good defensive first baseman. The rest of that list, though, doesn't really blow your hair back. And frankly, Michael Busch was average to slightly above average defensively. I have a lot more confidence in him personally this year, where I think that he can compete for a Gold Glove one day. So we'll see what happens. But when you put it together and you start to look at that list, Justin, Michael Busch isn't only just number 1. I mean, he's number 1 with a bullet, dude.
Totally.
What would they say in B96? He's number 1 by a mile. He's been on the charts. He's been on the charts for the 3rd, 4th week in a row. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even close.
And I don't feel like we're being homers in this situation, that list. I mean, Suarez, I feel like he is going to be more of a third baseman DH type, but fine, put him at first base. Glove-wise, there's no comparison between Suarez and Michael Busch at first base, right? Michael Busch has turned himself into a very good defensive first baseman, and offensively, I don't think we've seen his peak yet, and we've already seen some tremendous power. So, Counsell playing him every day, him hopefully batting 3, 4, or 5 somewhere in the power part of the order. I think that it's going to be a landslide that Michael Busch is the best first baseman in the Central.
Yeah, before we move to our final topic, the last thing on Michael Busch is, and we will probably do this again on the show, but let's do it right now because it's fun.
Sure.
What do you think his ceiling is, right? When you look at his season last year, pre-All-Star break, slash line 290, 375 on base percentage. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Slugging percentage of 550 for a 925 OPS. Dude, that's Kyle Tucker stuff.
Right.
Like, that is the elite of the elite type numbers.
The good Kyle Tucker, not the
bad.
Yeah.
No, the Kyle Tucker that we wanted to give $500 million to.
Yeah.
King Tuck, not King Suck. You know what I mean? Post All-Star break, though, like a lot of the Cubs offense, kind of took a downturn. 223 batting average, 299 OBP. Not good at all, but a 487 slug, because if we remember in September, he didn't have a great batting average, but an 82 at-bats, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 8 home runs, 14 RBIs, 14 runs scored, 12 walks, that amazing series against the Cardinals, and he carried it over into the playoffs.
Yeah.
He cut his Ks down, his strikeouts from 2024 to 162 to last year at 139. So let's just wrap it up like this. Like, what is the ceiling for you? And I saw someone say, could Michael Busch hit 40 home runs?
Yes.
Do you think that's a possibility?
I really do, 1,000%. I want to add to the fact of, you said, his first half versus second half. I think we all saw the regression of Busch, PCA, because you're missing a good Kyle Tucker. And so I think the Cubs also realized that as well, which is why I'm sure they went out to get Alex Bregman. You're hoping Alex Bregman will be there consistently, because we saw in the first half what this entire lineup looks like with a good, solid professional hitter, and hopefully, clicking on all cylinders. So, it's not a coincidence that when Tucker went down, PCA regressed and Busch regressed. I think Suzuki did as well. It's not a coincidence, there's just one less guy to share the pie with. So hopefully Bregman stays healthy, consistent all year long, and now you're going to see more of the first half of the PCAs and the Bushes and the Suzukis than the second half. So to answer your question, I think that Michael Busch 40 home runs is definitely in the realm of possibility. I think that last year I want to say PCA and Suzuki were both on that pace to hit possibly 40 home runs. So I think Michael Busch has more power than both of those guys. So give him full at bats. Lefty or righty, doesn't matter. I think that I'm not predicting he'll hit 40 home runs, but he has the potential to do so. Yes,
I'm right there with you. Yeah. I think the world of Michael Busch, it's all sitting out there for him. A, for him as the player to make a ton of money, and B, to become like a true cornerstone future piece for the Cubs, where it is PCA, Bregman, Michael Busch, like that trio.
Right.
You're all of a sudden you're like, man, that's something that we can really work with. And I'm not trying to exclude anybody. Right. I'm just trying to think about just the headliners and maybe like the guys on the poster that national people would understand. Right. And I look, man, I just think it's sitting out there for him. And each year he continues to impress me with how he incrementally keeps getting better. The playoffs did not shake him. No. The Brewers specifically were scared of him, where they tried to have that lefty as the opener, and Craig took the bait, taking Busch out of the lineup, and Justin Turner got 2 plate appearances that I'll never really understand why he did, even though he singled in one of them. And I think it's sitting out there where the guy can have a 30 home run season, 100 RBIs, and let's see if he puts it together. Now, I'm not asking for 290. I certainly don't want 223. Right. But if you're in the 260, 270 with that OBP at around 35, 36%, and that slugging percentage over 48, close to 500, that is a legitimate all-star. And I promise you that will get him higher up in those MLB rankings of top first baseman in the game.
In my thought process of the set it and forget it, having Nico, Bregman, Busch, and Suzuki's bat can be elite. Batting behind you, that's surrounding cast right there will only make Michael Busch better. Yeah. So it's all about health. It's all about hopefully Counsell pushing the right buttons and setting the right lineup. But for me, that 4 right there, Michael Busch will thrive in that spot.
Let's get to our final topic here on CHGO Cubs. Great chat today. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. If you haven't yet, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Okay, Justin, here we go. It is a Chicago What If du jour, Chicago Cubs edition. Sarah, if you can throw up the graphic really quick. There was a tweet about Kris Bryant. Spring training starts from Bob Nightingale, and Rockies first baseman Kris Bryant goes in the 60-day IL, and he'll be out at least the first 57 games of the season. Bryant, who played only 11 games last season, has played in only 170 games in the first 4 years of his 7-year, $182 million contract. Now, here in Chicago, we all still love Kris Bryant, but this is a sad case for a guy that had the brightest future possible. So, Chicago What If, Justin? What is a bigger Chicago sports what if to you? The career of Kris Bryant or the career of Mark Prior?
For me, that would be, without question, the career of Kris Bryant. We only have a small sample size of Mark Prior being dominant. Maybe a year and a half we kind of talked about, right? We have Kris Bryant. I mean, the guy was what? Wasn't he like the college player of the year, minor league player of the year, rookie of the year, MVP in 4 consecutive seasons? I think that's the first player to ever do that, if I recall correctly. I mean, his trajectory was Hall of Fame, helps break the curse in 2016. Don't forget, had a great 2017 as well. NLCS for the Cubbies. He was there, but he was our build a statue, Cubs Hall of Famer. To see how far this poor guy has fallen. And I've met him before. A really good friend of mine was his high school baseball coach. So he still talks to him all the time. By all accounts, one of the most stand-up great people in the world. No drugs, no alcohol, no smoke. I mean, just a good dude. The misfortune that poor guy has had and his body failing him is a very, very sad tale. But I think for me, no question, Kris Bryant is the bigger disappointment, if you will.
Well, what's so tragic about both of them, and this is what makes sports funny, right? Yeah. Is that when Kris Bryant was coming out of college and he was a high prospect pick for the Chicago Cubs, they said that he had the perfect power swing.
Yep.
When Mark Prior, also from the West Coast, was drafted super early, and he was a prize prospect of the Chicago Cubs, they said he had the perfect mechanics.
Wasn't it like that?
Yeah, the perfect throwing motion. Now, obviously, his biomechanics and other things have evolved over time. We began to realize that he was leading so far with his front chest that his arm was doing all the work, and he actually had terrible mechanics.
Yeah.
But at the time, that was the mark on both of them, and neither of them could stay healthy with the word perfect mechanics in whatever it was that made their skill important. I tend to lean with you with this Kris Bryant thing because, one, obviously, guy won a World Series.
Yep.
So he actually was able to taste the elite heights of his skill for a little bit longer than Mark Prior.
Yep.
I will tell you, though, because we're having fun and I'm going to play a little devil's advocate.
Yeah.
When Mark Prior in 2003 was right and rolling, and in that August and September, that year when he won 18 games at an ERA sub under 2.5, he was an automatic win.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think on, at least in a Cubs uniform on one hand, guys that took the mound that I said, oh, we're winning today.
Jake
Arrieta, Greg Maddux, Mark Prior.
Yep.
I mean, I felt good about Kerry Wood, but I didn't feel like he was an auto win, right? Like maybe Cade Horton in the second half last year. Maybe some stretches from Kyle Hendricks, right? Like maybe Rick Sutcliffe before my time. Maybe he deserves to be in that list. But when Mark Prior took the mound in 2003, there were few better in the game, and it was lights out, game over. And the dude was pitching complete games, going deep in the playoffs. So I'm with you that I think Kris Bryant is the greater what if because he had the Rookie of the Year, the MVP, and frankly, I think the Cubs wanted to pay him. And I think Kris Bryant wanted to be paid by the Cubs. They just disagreed on the amount. And he could have, if he had stayed healthy, I mean, dude, we're talking statue.
I know.
We're talking maybe another MVP, multiple All-Stars, could have been a Hall of Famer. With Mark Prior, we saw one season. I think that there was more of a track record or proof of concept of Kris Bryant.
Don't forget that, Mark Prior carried us to one NLCS. Kris Bryant helped carry us to 3 in a row, 15, 16, 17.
And he was still good in 18 and 19.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wasn't the same guy. I think that was what was sad and maybe about the what if with Kris Bryant was that the injuries and even the small ones really brought down his offensive production. And I maintain to this day, when he got that shoulder injury and he opted not to have surgery because he wanted to stay out there and help the team, which I believe was in 17 or 18, I think he changed his swing
when he crashed into Giles.
Yeah, and I think it. Well, no, I'm talking about KB.
Oh,
I'm saying when KB hurt his shoulder, the trajectory on his swing, that launch angle, I don't think he could whip it as hard as he could, and I think it sapped his power. But again, another parallel. When Pryor runs into Brian Giles, he's doing towel drills for the next 2 years, and he just can never get back out there, and he can never get back to the height, that taste and that potential of what he was in 2003. It's one of the great Cubs what-ifs of all time. The only thing about Kris Bryant is Kris Bryant got a World Series ring out of it, which takes the what if, it takes the sting out of the what if a little bit more.
And you said it was before your time. I actually am. The '84 Cubs is why. That's why I'm a diehard Cub fan. That was the team I fell in love with. And Barb brings up a very good point. You got to put Rick Sutcliffe on that list. Rick Sutcliffe went 16-1 after he got traded to the Cubs that year. That's as automatic as. And by the way, he won Game 1 of the NLCS. And pitched a gem in a 13-0 game and also hit a home run that game too. Rick Sutcliffe, I think, goes on that list, the 84 version of Sutcliffe. But yeah, I mean, Mark Pryor, we thought for a long time, Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor, we had it, man. I remember the Sports Illustrated cover.
The flaming baseballs.
Dude, I had it framed in my room, what could have been, but Kris Bryant, like I said, from going college player of the year, minor league player of the year, rookie of the year, MVP, 4 years in a row. That dude's trajectory was Hall of Famer statue. And, I've talked about on this show before, and I'll say it again. I was very disappointed in him and Scott Boras when they signed with Colorado. For me, that just showed it was all about the money because Colorado was never going to win anything in that division. And so I do feel bad and sad that he is over there kind of rotting away. I think he signs with the Cubs. It's a different reality, right? Maybe just maybe it's a healthy version of Kris Bryant and we all feel differently about it. We'll never know. But I always hated that he signed with Colorado. I fought with the same guy who knows him very well. And I was like, dude, he's going there to professionally die. And it's kind of what happened.
And that's what's funny about the Chicago what if with Kris Bryant. It isn't so much about would he have stayed healthy and become a Hall of Famer and had a statue next to Sandberg on Gallagher Way. Right. It's also if they had signed him to a $220-something million deal, and then he had this degenerative back issue and all these other maladies for years and years, and all the goodwill that he had built in this town might have been sucked away and evaporated, and it might would have gotten, frankly, kind of dark, right? Of like he would have become the worst contract in Cubs history.
Yeah, 1,000%.
After becoming one of the greatest heroes in Cubs history.
1,000%.
I mean, what's the phrase in The Dark Knight, right? You live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Yeah. That's what would have happened to Kris Bryant. So there's two different kinds of what ifs there with Kris Bryant.
Financially, we're way more flexible because we didn't sign him to that $200 million deal. If it was offered, I mean, listen, Kaplan says it was offered. My guy swears from Kris Bryant himself that it was never offered. I think it's somewhere in the middle there that maybe was offered to his agent, but not to him. Okay, whatever. But I mean, the Cubs did dodge a bullet, but it doesn't make it any less sad. I hate seeing Kris Bryant kind of just, I hate that stat that he's in 4 years, he played 170 games. That's sad.
Yeah. Chicago what ifs, Kris Bryant versus Mark Pryor. We'll never know, but they're certainly fun to talk about. Yeah. That's for sure. And yeah, look, with Kris Bryant, I just hope that I want him to just come back, and even if he just comes back and he's like a DH, like, you know what I mean? Just a dude that just can get to the box and just,
I don't know, man,
hit some bombs. And it's not looking good, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if he never swings a professional at bat again. I just think that he's not going to retire because you got to be stupid to do that because of the money and everything. But I don't know. He's got a serious thing going on. I wouldn't be surprised if he never swings a professional at bat again. It's unfortunate because all this drama, and then he didn't come to the Cubs convention, and people said it was because of this or because, like, I just feel like he's such a nice guy that something happened where, like, this drama follows him. And I do hate that because by all accounts, from what I hear, and again, I met him a few times, just a total stand-up guy, nice guy. It just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I feel for him. I'm glad he got paid, and I root for Kris Bryant. But man, that is just it's a tough road, and you have to ask yourself the question, like, he wants to be a baseball player for his life. He doesn't want to rehab an injury for his life.
Oh,
you know
right.
what I mean? And that's like the life that he has to lead right now is just rehabbing injuries and going step by step.
And baseball is all he knows. Like
Correct.
You're not going to go pick up a different craft. You know, like he's not. I mean, this guy was like boy wonder from day one of his life. You know, like he was groomed to be a baseball player. That's a tough pill to swallow, and not giving that up. It's a it's like a money ball. We're all told that we're not going to play one day. You know, it's like when is that time? And unfortunately, it seems like it's coming pretty close.
Well, speaking of time, we got to get out of here. This is CHGO Cubs podcast on a Tuesday. We are back tomorrow. Luke Stuckmeyer back in studio. Shout out to Mama Stuckmeyer.
Yeah.
Get well. We're all thinking about her today. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. Shout out to Sarah on the ones and twos. Shout out Justin Roman. Shout out CHGO_Cubs on Twitter.
Shout out Zac Gallen. Hopefully we're going to sign him pretty soon.
We'll see you in a second on an emergency pod if he signs. But other than that, we're going to sign off for today. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. As Luke would say, whatever you do today, make sure you fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.